Hello students, today we will be going over the practice test. This is kind of this purple worksheet and your teacher should have passed this out already. So we'll start with number 1. Is the table proportional or non-proportional? I will say that there are two things that makes a table proportional. Making sure that every relationship between x and y has the same proportion, and also that it starts through 0, 0. If it's a graph, that 0 is also one of them that's there. So if we start with our hours and our snowfall, what we want to do is take our y values. I'm going to go ahead and mark this. Our x values, it's usually your input values, y is your output values. So what you want to do is compare all your y over x's. So we say 5 over 2, and we use our handy dandy calculator, and we say 5 divided by 2, and that equals 2.5. Now we want to compare all the rest of these and make sure that that proportional relationship is the same. So I'm going to write 15 divided by 6, 20 divided by 8, and 35 divided by 14. Now, if I get 2.5 for each of those, then this will be a proportional relationship. Then I can go 15 divided by 6, 2.5. Then I clear that out. And then I go 20 divided by 8, 2.5. And then 35 divided by 14. 2.5. So all of these, when I divide them, equals 2.5. Next, I'm also going to ask you to write down your equation. Okay, that should be the easy part. Okay, so you set this up, do the division, show the work that it's all 2.5. So to write your equation on a proportional relationship, by the way, we would put yes, proportional. And then I'm going to go ahead and write my equation. So I want you to write your equation as well. Y equals 2.5x. And this is your proportion when it's y divided by x. Your equation is always going to be y equals blank x. And the blank is your proportion. Also can be known as k, and that's important for later on in this same worksheet. So let's go on to number 2. Is this graph proportional? So the two things you need to check is it's got to be a straight line. Does it look like a straight line? Well, yes. The second thing you look at is, does it go through 0, 0? Okay, here's 0, 0 on my graph right there. Does that line go through 0, 0? No, it does not. So we put no, not proportional. Okay, the next thing says number 3, k equals -5. Okay, so on this one, remember we're going to put y equals blank x. Say that with me. Y equals blank x. I can't hear you. Everybody say it. Y equals blank x. So what goes in the blank? It's whatever k is. So we get y equals -5x. And that's all you have to do. So you're writing the equation with the constant of proportionality, k. So I'm going to let you do number 4. I'm going to go on to number 5. Does the line through the points 0, 0, and 3, 7 create a proportional relationship? Well, goes through 0, 0, and I'm going to put 7 up there, and 3, 7. Remember I said there was two things to say that something is a proportional relationship on a graph? Is a straight line. Yes, I can make a straight line through any 2 points on a graph. And does it go through 0, 0? And this one does. So you say yes. And if you wanted to figure out the this is good practice for you, figure out the constant of proportionality. Remember, we take the y, divide it by the x. So y equals 7/3 x, and we say yes, it is a proportional relationship, and there is your equation. Okay. Next, we're going to have you do 6, 7, and 8. I will go ahead and help you with number 9 unless you figure it out, you got it all on your own. Okay, graph. Here's the cost of some shrimp. Based on the graph, what does the point 770 represent? Okay, so I look at my graph, 7, oh, it's the number of pounds. 7 equals number of pounds. You can either write out pounds or you can abbreviate it LBS. And 70 right here, 70 equals the cost of the shrimp. And if I wanted to write my my equation, remember you're going to take your y and divide it by your x. So 70 over 7. And that will give you your unit rate, which is also your k, so that you can write your equation. Y equals blank x, remember? That's all you have to do if it's proportional. 70 over 7 equals 10. So your equation, y equals 10x. And you're done. Okay? The next one, number 10, Gavin worked 25 hours and was paid $300. He would like to know how much he will earn if he works more hours. Write an equation that Gavin can use to calculate how much he will earn if the relationship between the hours he worked and the money he earns remains proportional. Okay. Now, I know some of you are scared of word problems, but they're words. Oh, so scary. Words. Okay. We can handle words. You take English, right? Okay, we can handle the words. So I'm going to read it again. You need to read each story problem at least 3 times. Gavin worked 25 hours and was paid $300. So think of it as your X value equals 25 hours, and he was paid how much? That's your Y value, $300. So what do we do to find our equation? Y equals blank X. And remember, this blank is your Y divided by X. So our Y is 300. Our X is 25. So we take our handy dandy calculator and we go 300 divided by 25. 12. So Gavin is paid $12 an hour. So our equation, Y equals 12X. There's your equation. He's paid $12 an hour. Because it's going to remain proportional. He doesn't all of a sudden get a huge jump if he works 100 hours. All right, students. You can get the rest of this. You rock.